പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കുട്ടികളെ, ഇന്ന് നമ്മൾ പുതിയൊരു ടോപ്പിക്കാണ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. മൊഡ്യൂൾ 1-ലെ റിഡംഷൻ ഓഫ് പ്രിഫറൻസ് ഷെയർസ്. So let's we start our topic. So before moving to the topic, stay home, stay safe. അതിജീവിക്കാം, കരുതലോടെ അനാവശ്യ യാത്രകളൊക്കെ ഒഴിവാക്കുക. ജനനന്മയ്ക്കായി, നാടിൻ്റെ നന്മയ്ക്കായി, നമ്മുടെ തന്നെ നന്മയ്ക്കായി. So once again, good morning, stay home, stay safe. Let's move to the topic. Meaning of preference shares. The redeemable preference shares or preference shares are those the amount of which can be paid back to the holders of such shares. That is, the capital raised through the issue of redeemable preference shares can be paid back by the company to such shareholders. The capital raised by the issue of preference shares is called preference share capital. So the preference shareholders generally do not enjoy any voting rights. The paying back of capital is called redemption. So in this case, the redemption of redeemable preference shares does not reduce the company's authorized capital. That is very important as compared to the forfeiture of equity shares. So the redeemable preference shares are those shares which can be means the capital raised through the issue of preference shares can be paid back to the company, paid back to the shareholders by the company at the time of liquidation or at the stipulated time as per the agreement between the preference shareholders. And they have no voting right. And moving on to the more, the preference shareholders have certain kinds of preferential right over equity shares. The preference shareholders enjoys a preferential position over equity shares in two ways. First one is receiving a fixed rate of dividend out of the net profit of the company before any dividend is declared for equity shareholders. This is the first preferential right that enjoyed by the preference shareholders. And the second one, receiving their capital after the claim of company's creditors have been settled at the time of liquidation, which means at the time of liquidation of a company, the preference shareholders have the right to claim or preferential right to get back their capital, which is invested by the shareholders in a company. In simple words, we can say as compared to the equity shareholders, the preference shareholders have a preferential claim over dividend and repayment of capital. Now let us see various types of preference shares. First one is cumulative preference shares. In the case of cumulative preference shares are a special type of shares that entitles the shareholders to enjoy cumulative dividend payout at times when a company is not making profit. These dividends will be counted as arrears in years when the company is not earning profit and will be paid on a cumulative basis the next year when the company or the business generate profits. Which means that in the case of cumulative preference shares, if any year company is not making any profit, definitely such kind of rate of dividend is treated as arrear and accumulated. And if a company is making any profit in the coming years or future years, then it have to be paid by utilizing that future profits. This is what happened in the case of cumulative preference shares. And the second one is non-cumulative preference shares. It is simply the opposite of cumulative preference shares. In this case, non-cumulative preference shares, the dividend payout take place from the profits made by the company in the current year. These types do not accumulate dividend in the form of arrears. When we are comparing to cumulative preference shares and non-cumulating preference shares, it can be seen that in the case of non-cumulative preference shares, the arrear is not accumulated. If any year the profit made by the company, then that profit is allowed or utilized for cumulative from shareholders before paying to the equity shareholders. So if there is a year in which the company does not make any profit, then the shareholders are not paid any dividend for that year. and they cannot claim for dividend in future profits of the company. And this is what we can say non-cumulative preference shares. And the third one is participating preference shares. These types of shares allow the shareholders to demand a part in the surplus profit of the company at the event of liquidation of the company after the dividend have been paid to the other shareholders. In other words, these shareholders enjoy fixed dividend and also share a part of the surplus profit of the company along with the equity shareholders. So participating preference shares means participation in the case of profits only, not participation in the case of management. So if any, they have the right to share the surplus profit which is available for equity shareholders. This is what in the case of participating preference shares. And the fourth one is non-participating. These shares do not yield the shareholders the additional option of earning dividend from the surplus profit earned by the company. Just an opposite of non-participating preference shares. They do not have any kind of right, or they are not in a position to earn extra dividend which is available for equity shareholders. So in this case, shareholders receive only the fixed dividend that is mentioned in the agreement. And fifth one is redeemable preference shares. Redeemable preference shares are shares that can be repurchased or redeemed by the issuing company at a fixed rate and date. Redeemable preference shares are shares that can be repurchased or redeemed by the issuing company at a fixed rate and or a fixed stipulated rate, a date that is mentioned in the agreement. So these types of shares help the company by providing a cushion during the time of inflation, which means that suppose a redeemable preference shares can be redeemed in a fixed rate, which means that they can convert into other preference shares or equity shares like that. This is this what we can say redeemable preference shares. Then the sixth one, non-redeemable preference shares. Non-redeemable preference shares are those shares that cannot be redeemed during the entire life of the company. In other words, these shares can only be redeemed at the time of winding up of the company. If my knowledge is correct, non-redeemable preference shares are now not allowed by the Companies Act for issuing for the issue, I think. And seventh one, convertible preference shares. Convertible preference shares are a type of shares that enable the shareholder to convert their preference shares into equity shares at a fixed rate after the expiry of a period as mentioned in the memorandum or as per the agreement of issue of convertible preference shares. So they can convert into equity shares after a stipulated period of time, or according to the agreement, convertible preference shares can be converted into equity shares, and after the conversion they will become the owners, means equity share capital holders are the real owners of the company. So after a stipulated period, convertible shares are in a position to convert into equity shares, and they will become, means the holders of the such kind of convertible preference shares holders become the owners of the company after the conversion into equity shares. And finally, non-convertible preference shares. These types of preference shares cannot be converted into equity shares. These shares will get only a fixed dividend payout and also enjoy preferential dividend payout during the dissolution of a company. A preferential right is there in the case of dissolution, and they get comparing to other preference shares, they get a normal rate of dividend which is mentioned in the agreement as per the issue of non-convertible preference shares. And now let us see some of the important merits of preference shares. So the merits of preference shares are given as preference shares provide reasonably steady income in the form of fixed rate of dividend and safety of investment. This is the first and foremost important merits of preference shares. As far as the investor is concerned, they can get a regular income in the form of a fixed rate of dividend. At the same time, it is a safety is there because at the time of liquidation, they can get their capital back after settling the creditors' claim. Then the Second one, preference shares are useful for those investors who want a fixed rate of return with comparatively low risk. Another important merit we can see, certain investors are not ready to take a risk in a high level, and that type of investors are preference shares, because they get a fixed rate of dividend and the risk associated with the preference shares is comparatively low. Then the third one, it does not affect the control of equity shareholders over the management, as preference shares holders do not have voting rights. Even though the capital raised through the issue of preference shares can get a cannot dilute the control of equity shareholders, because the preference shareholders have no voting right. This is why the control is not affected as far as equity shareholder is concerned. And the fourth one, payment of fixed rate of dividend to preference shareholders may enable a company to declare higher rate of dividend for equity shareholders in good times. Suppose a company is making a more profit than in normal case, then it is highly beneficial for the equity shareholders as far as equity shareholder is concerned, because they can get a higher rate of return or higher rate of dividend, because preference shareholders get only a fixed rate of dividend, whatever may be the profit that is made by the company, that is immaterial. Anyway, and the fifth one, preference shareholders have a preferential right of payment over equity shareholders in the event of liquidation of a company. Another important right or another important peculiarity or merit that we can see, preferential right of repayment of equity capital. Then the sixth one, preferential capital does not create any sort of charge against the assets of the company. This is another important merit as far as the company's side is concerned. They are not creating any charge like creditors. This is another important merit. Now let us see some of the important demerits or disadvantages of preference shares. The preference shares are not suitable for those investors who are willing to take risk and interested in high returns. This is another important demerit as far as the investor is concerned. Suppose the investor is ready to take risk and they want more interest, more profit, then their preference shares are not suitable for those kinds of investors. This is one of the important demerit. And the second one is preference share capital dilutes the claim of equity shareholders over assets of the company. It is in the sense that at the time of liquidation of the company, after settling the creditor's claim, then the preference is given to preference shareholders. This is why the claim of equity shareholders are diluted uh, over the assets of the company. And the third important disadvantage, the rate of dividend or preference shares is generally higher than the rate of interest on debentures. When we are comparing the interest rate associated with the preference shares and the debentures, we can see in the normal case, uh, preference shareholder preference shares is generally a higher rate than the debentures. This is another important demerit. And fourth one, as the dividend on these shares is to be paid only when company earns profit. So there is no assured return for the investors. Thus, these shares may not be very attractive to the investors. Means some of the preference shares, only cumulative preference shareholder, cumulative type of preference shares are in a position to earn profit, even though the company is not making a profit in a particular year. So, in the case of dividend, on these shares is to be paid only when company earns profit. If there is no, which means that there is no assured return in the case of preference shares. And fifth one, the dividend pay it is not deductible from profits as expense. Thus, there is no tax saving, as in the case of interest on loans. So, in the case of interest on loans, tax savings is available, or tax deduction is available. But in the case of preference shares interest or dividend, there is no deductible. Tax is not deductible. It means that taxable dividend are issued to the preference shares. These are the important demerits. Now let us see, this time we are discussing what I mean by preference shares, then the types of preference shares. Now moving to the redemption of preference shares. Now let us see the meaning. It is a process of repaying an obligation to preference shareholders, usually at the pre-arranged amount. Simple. In other words, we can say repayment of capital raised through preference shares is called a redemption of preference shares. So these shares are issued to shareholders on the terms that holders will at some future date be repaid the amount which they invested in the company. Means after a certain period or a future date, according to the agreement, preference shareholders can get back their amount invested in the company in the form of preference shares. So the redemption date is the maturity date, which is specify when payment take place and is usually be mentioned in the agreement. While issuing the preference shares, there is an agreement between the shareholder and the company. A future date is there, a maturity date is there. Then how can we redeem? Whether it may be in the form of paying in installments or lump sum. That is clearly mentioned in the agreement. And now let us see the under section 80 of the Companies Act 1956. A company should have to fulfill the following condition for redemption of preference shares. And the first and important one, there must be a provision in the Articles of Association regarding the redemption of preference shares. So redemption of preference shares must authorize the Articles of Association of the company. This is the important condition that a company has to fulfill for redemption of preference shares. Or if such a kinds of provision is not there, then the company is not in a position to redeem the preference shares. And the second important condition, the redeemable preference shares must be fully paid, which means that suppose a company is partly paid up capital or partly called by the preference shares amount, then if there are any partly paid shares, it should be converted into fully paid shares before redemption, which means that partly paid shares are not allowed to redeem as far as preference shares is concerned. Then the third one, redeemable preference shares holders should be paid out of undistributed profit or distributable profit or out of fresh issue of shares for the purpose of redemption. So the redemption, the amount which is utilized, a company can utilize the amount for redemption of preference shares. The amount is undistributed profit or distributable profit or out of fresh issue for the purpose of redemption, which means that company is not allowed to sell any kind of assets for redemption for redeeming the preference shares. They can redeem out of profits, means undistributable profit, like means general reserve, then secret reserve, that such a kinds of reserve can be utilized, or distributable profit can be utilized, or they can they can make fresh issue for redeeming the preference shares. This is the third condition. Then the fourth one, if the shares are redeemed at a premium, it should be provided out of securities premium or profit and loss account or general reserve account, which means that if a company wants to redeem the preference shares at a premium, then the premium that is given to the preference shareholders must provide. It means that securities premium or profit can be utilized for redeeming the preference shares, and the premium is utilized for that. Means if the shares are redeemed at a premium, it should be provided out of securities premium or profit and loss or general reserve. Means company is in a position to provide premium to at the time of redemption, then the amount that is equal to premium paid to the shareholders must be taken from the securities premium available in the company, or profit and loss account or general reserve account can be utilized for issuing redeeming preference shares at a premium. And the fifth one, the proceeds from fresh issue of debentures cannot be utilized for redemption. At the time of redemption of preference shares, we can there is a condition that out of fresh issue. Fresh issue means the company can issue fresh preference shares or equity shares, and utilizing that amount they can reduce or redeem the preference shares. But they are not allowed, means the company is not allowed to issue debentures. Fresh issue of debentures cannot be utilized for redemption. And the sixth one, the amount of capital reserve cannot be used for redemption of preference shares. Capital reserve is not in a position to not allowed to redeem the preference shares according to section 80 of the Companies Act of 1956. Then if the shares are redeemed out of undistributed profit, the nominal value of share capital so redeemed should be transferred to capital redemption account. This is also known as capitalization, which means that if the shares are redeemed out of undistributed profit, the nominal value of share capital, means the preference share capital so redeemed, should be transferred to capital redemption account. This is known as capitalization, which means that suppose a company is redeeming the preference shares, it cannot dilute or it cannot reduce the capital of the company. This is what we can say capitalization. These are the important conditions of redemption of preference shares according to section 80 of the Companies Act of 1956. That's all about today's class. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe. Have a nice day. Bye.